The Ouroborus is the perfect symbol to describe the metaphysics of addiction, attachment, and sin. The paternity or pattern of sin is circular, as it requires the recycling of attachment, which is the motion of addiction. The Ouroborus is a symbol of cyclical, energetic incest. This is the pattern an addict lives by. We can come to understand that anything that is incestuous to oneself is both regenerative but degenerate at the same time. For example, the addict of any kind will continuously commit to behaviours that will biologically and mentally degenerate their life force and vitality, while also living in a denial towards death through incestuous energetic attachment. This is the embodiment of the Ouroboros in full force. So what is the character of addiction itself? How does the complex of addiction portray itself in this life and enter into people's lives? The symbol of the Ouroboros is characterized by two figures, the snake or the dragon. Both of these creatures within mythology, interestingly enough, are characterized with the attributes of persuasion and in having cunning trickster behavioral attributes. This is very similar to how addiction seeps into people's lives. Both symbols are often involved in deception, through promising immortality if certain behaviours are enacted upon and committed to. Yet usually this concludes to addiction of some kind. For example, the dragon is addicted to power and therefore hoards all the gold of the world inside its deep, mysterious, unknown caves or something like this. What most mortal humans often perceive as that which is the gateway to attaining immortality, financial power, eternal money, being a millionaire, having all the money in the world, corruption. Complete power corrupts, of course. Yet it also holds the belief of this immortal attachment to some sense. The snake in the Garden of Eden is a symbol that tricks Eve into the belief that she will attain all knowledge and develop this sense of immortality with knowledge and become godlike if she eats from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil in the Bible. But all of this is a trick of cunning deception. In the same way that an addict is in the denial of death. This is very important because it's the cyclical process of the Ouroboric ancestral cycle that is the denial of death itself. That they have fallen for the empty promise of sin. Yet, as we all know, the wages of sin is death. But there's this weird denial of death. I was like, the addict was like, I'm not addicted to anything. I'm fine. This whole process of me being addicted to this thing, having this attachment to this process or whatever it is, this cyclical thing that I'm recycling and regurgitating within my own life, it's fine. It's not going to cause any harm to me. It's a denial of death from their actions. But when one commits to the Ouroboric lifestyle of addiction, they are in a complete denial of death. They believe that the cycle itself will set them free. That ignorance is ultimately bliss, because this addiction will not set them free. Yet they do not see that the wages of sin is death, as their identity has become codependent to the materialism of the world and the material actions in which they have attached themselves to. Both characters promise enlightenment, the dragon and the snake, and this type of stuff with the empty promises that they are giving, via anti-spiritual means, by enacting upon and developing an attachment towards materialistic rituals. For the addict, this is the ritualization of a material process with the false belief that it will set their spirits free from the burdens that they do not want to bear. Whatever those burdens may be, it could be anything. But how can your spirit be set free? By attaching yourself to the consumerist cycles of ritual abuse set against yourself. You're ritually, in a ritualistic way, abusing your own body with the perception and the sense of delusion that you are going to in some way empty and take away the burdens. You will only on a temporary level, but not on a permanent level. You can only achieve that through spiritual enlightenment, spiritual theosis with God, a union with God. and that is with the complete detachment for anything that is material in of itself. But obviously this doesn't happen. If it was true, life would be easy, but life's beauty is in its difficulties. Many fools believe life is simple and easy, and is why so many stay committed to the influence of temptation by evil spirits to bring them into addiction and the attachment of self-destructive behavior, in the belief that it will set them free and be in denial of death, for they are those who lack discernment with God. So this is very interesting. The Ouroboros symbol is often within the occult and all this stuff. So it's often seen as like a symbol of life. As a symbol of, this is how life works. It's the eternal reoccurrence of kind of life and death and all this type of stuff. But I see it in a different way. I see it from a Christian perspective. It's very interesting. And from more just a psychological perspective, because Carl Jung obviously went into this and talked about the ancestral nature of the Ouroboros, and Eric Newman went into it quite a bit as well, who was a student of Jung and all this type of stuff. It's very interesting. So there's an interesting psychological lens that you can apply to this. At least you can even see it from like from the ideas of the Gnostic demiurge, with the attachment to the material world, and but also if you look at it from the metaphysics, if you wanted to construct a metaphysics of what addiction, attachment looks like, or sin, and what it looks like, it would look like something like that, because you are ancestrally regurgitating the same actions, even without even thinking about the consequence or thinking about the negative effect it is having upon your body, your mind, and your soul. So guys, if you feel like you resonated with this video and you are also struggling with things with regards to attachment and addiction and stuff like this, as I was explaining it in this video, then make sure to hit me up for a free one-on-one coaching call. I focus mostly on people who are dealing with negative habits, bad habits, and want to replace them with good ones, with regards to working through procrastinatory issues that certain individuals may have on an individual level. And that also includes working through bad habits, which can possibly be addictions, to effectively break them and to replace them with good ones, to increase people's productivity, to have a more efficient lifestyle that's more complementary and more, wholesome for that individual. So if you want to do that with me and you want to jump on a free call to understand how that all works with regards to my coaching mentorship program, then make sure to hit me up in the link in the description, especially if you're someone who's struggling with these types of things. I've worked with many different people on this with regards to their career and personal casual lifestyles. So if that is something you want to work on, make sure to book in a free one-on-one coaching call with me, and we can get off from there to see where we will go with regards to your situation. So if you enjoyed this video, guys, make sure to give it a like, comment your thoughts down below, and as always, make sure to subscribe, and I'll speak to you in the next one. Thanks for watching.